In a small village, there lived a kind man named Thomas. He was a farmer who worked hard every day. He had a best friend, a big dog named Bruno. Bruno had golden fur and kind eyes. Thomas had raised Bruno since he was a little puppy. They did everything together. Every morning, Bruno followed Thomas to the fields. He watched over him while he worked. At night, Bruno lay near Thomas's feet, keeping him company. Thomas loved Bruno very much and treated him like family. One day, a rich man came to the village. He saw Bruno and said, "That is a fine dog. I will give you 10 gold coins for him." Thomas shook his head. "Bruno is not for sale. He is not just a dog. He is my friend." The rich man laughed. "It is just a dog. Why do you care so much?" Thomas smiled. "A true friend is worth more than gold." One night, Bruno started barking loudly. His ears stood up and he ran to the door, growling. Thomas had never seen him act this way before. Thomas grabbed a lantern and stepped outside. The night was dark and the wind was blowing. Bruno stood near the barn, barking fiercely. Thomas walked closer and saw a man hiding behind a haystack. The man had a knife in his hand. A thief! Before Thomas could move, Bruno ran forward, barking and showing his sharp teeth. The thief stepped back, afraid. He had thought the farm was an easy place to steal from, but he did not expect a brave dog like Bruno. The thief dropped his knife and ran away. Thomas patted Bruno's head and said, "You saved me, my friend." Bruno wagged his tail happily. The big storm. Months passed, and the rainy season began. The river near the farm was rising, and the sky was full of dark clouds. One night, a big storm came. Rain poured heavily, and strong winds shook the trees. Bruno started barking loudly again. Thomas rushed outside and saw water covering his fields. The river had overflowed, and everything was flooding. Then he heard a loud crack. His barn was breaking. Inside the barn, his cows were trapped. Thomas tried to run to them, but the water was too strong. Bruno did not wait. He jumped into the water and swam to the barn. With great effort, he pushed the cows toward the open door. One by one, the cows ran out to safety. When the last cow was out, Bruno turned to swim back, but suddenly a large wooden beam fell from the roof and hit him. "Bruno!" Thomas shouted, running to him. He lifted his loyal dog in his arms and carried him to the house. He dried him and wrapped him in warm blankets. For days, Bruno was weak, but Thomas never left his side. He fed him, spoke to him, and took care of him. "You saved my farm, Bruno," Thomas said. "I don't know what I would do without you." Bruno wagged his tail weakly, happy to be with his master. One morning, as Thomas and Bruno walked to the village, they saw an old man sitting by the road. He looked tired and hungry. Thomas went to him and asked, "Sir, are you okay?" The old man shook his head. "I have no food or water." Thomas looked at Bruno. They both understood what to do. Thomas bought some bread and water and gave them to the old man. The old man ate slowly. His eyes were full of gratitude. "You are very kind," he said. "Most people do not stop to help." Thomas smiled. "Helping others makes the world a better place." Bruno wagged his tail and sat beside the man, as if offering comfort. The old man patted Bruno's head and said, "You have a special friend. A loyal dog is more valuable than gold." Years passed, and Thomas and Bruno grew older together. They were still best friends. One day, a rich merchant came to Thomas's farm. He had heard stories about Bruno's bravery and loyalty. "I will give you 50 gold coins for your dog," the merchant said. "With that money, you can live comfortably." Thomas looked at Bruno, then back at the merchant. "No amount of gold can replace a true friend," he said. The merchant laughed. "It is just a dog. Why do you care so much?" Thomas smiled. "Because he has given me something no money can buy: love, loyalty, and friendship." Bruno wagged his tail happily, knowing he would always have a home with his master. That night, Thomas sat by the fireplace, gently stroking Bruno's fur. "You have taught me what true friendship means," he whispered. And Bruno, as always, stayed by his side, faithful to the end.